Hey there, welcome back to the Wi-Fi Wheeler. So in this video, what I want to do is take what we learned about DC motors and DC drivers and implement them in code. So just as a quick recap, again, we went over this in the previous video, but just briefly, if we look at the diagrams here, where it says LW, that's the left wheel, and then on the right, that's right wheel. So each wheel has two pins that control the motors, and the way it does that is it controls the DC driver, which then is the muscle to move the motor. And what we found is that if we have a difference in voltage between the two pins, like for example, on right here it says 5V for 5 volts and 0 volts here, then the motor starts spinning. And if you want to reverse it, so it was 1 0 and the other one's 5, then it reverses the other way. The wheel starts spinning the other way. If the voltages are the same, nothing happens, whether it's both 0 or both 5 volts. Okay, same thing that happens on the right wheel. Now on the right wheel over here, we explained that you can also do half speed or partial speed, and then that's where the analog thing came in. And then we saw that in order to get to the maximum voltage using the analog, you do 255, and then 0 for the minimum voltage, and then anything in between, 0 to 255 for all those in-between speeds. Okay, there's more details on that in the previous video, but just a short recap. Now let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, so here's my code. I'm going to actually write a function called move forward speed. Okay, now I'm gonna call it move forward speed because I want this function to be able to control the speed of the motors, and you're gonna be able to tell it what speed you want. Okay, so I'm gonna have my two parentheses, but inside now I'm gonna write this int speed. Okay, this is called a parameter. So what I'm going to be doing now is my function is going to be allow something like a variable to input into it. So then you can, for example, in our situation, speed. So when you call the move forward speed function, you also have to give it a speed, and that's what this int speed is here. Okay, let's write our delimiters for the function, these curly braces, and then let's put in the code. And this whole parameter thing will make sense once we start putting these lines of code in. Okay, so my move forward function, I already have one that moves them both, moves both motors at half speed. So I'm just gonna copy this and then paste it in there. Copy, paste, okay, and then we're gonna be able to modify it. All right, so just to recap, so motor A1A and motor A1B, these control the A motor, which is going to be the left wheel. And we have this here, a little math, max speed times 0.5. Max speed is a macro that I defined up here, which is 255. Sound familiar? That's the maximum. So whenever it sees max speed, it's just going to know that's the same thing as saying 255. And then I put a 0.5 here. Before, whenever I said move forward, down here, whenever I call this function, I always ran at half speed. The reason I did that is I found that these motors actually go pretty fast, and what happens if the motors go way too fast for too long, the electronics might get a little finicky. So I just want to tone it down a little bit, just keep it at 0.5. And so I actually kind of recommend that if you're going to move your car for longer durations, I would stay at half speed or less, and it's plenty fast enough. Of course, if you want to play with it, just go full on max for a long time, you can. But what happens is, the Wi-Fi might start, getting finicky and stuff. So, but that's why I keep it at half speed. That's why that's in there. All right, so for our, instead of this now, so I'll go back to our move forward speed function. Instead of this, I'm just going to type in speed. Okay, so this matches this. Okay, so this is going to be like a it's kind of like a variable, but in functions we call it a parameter. So whatever we put into here when we call it, it's also going to show up here. All right, then let me parentheses that. Now these two lines here control the motor B. So same thing here. Instead of this max speed 0.5, I'm going to just put speed. Okay, that's all we're going to do. And then now let's try calling this. So move forward speed. I'm going to copy this name of the function, and let's go to our commands here. Let's see. Move forward 7 still there. Let's do pound. Okay. All right. So I don't have any code here for pound. So if you type in pound on the control panel, we're going to do this code. We're going to go move forward speed. And then now I got to put in my parameter. So I'm going to say, should I do 255? I don't know. It might go crazy. I'll just do it. Okay. So this is what I'll do. I'm going to go and then delay 500. So meaning I'm just going to move at full speed for half a second. And then I'm going to move it down to half speed, which is 128 for 1 second. And then I'm going to go a little bit slower, maybe 80 for another second. And then I'm going to, I think it's called stop all motors. We'll stop all motors. Let's see. Sometimes I forget my functions, but we could just look it up. Let's see, what's the name of my, yeah, there's a call here, for example, stop all motors. Cool. Okay, going back here. So when I press, no, here, when I press pound, it should go full speed for half a second, half speed for 1 second, and then this is like about a quarter speed for another second, and then stop. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I'm gonna I'm plugged in. I'm just gonna do a straight up upload. So as this is compiling, again, it takes a little bit of time because it needs to compile the everything. Oh, wait a second, I messed up. Line 133. Okay, let's debug together. 133. Oh, look, forgot this closing parentheses. Boom. Okay, try again. So what I want to do in this video is actually create a really nice ramp down. Okay, so right now I am doing a ramp down. I'm starting at full speed, 255, and then half speed, and then 80. But it's gonna be kind of rough. It's be like ding, 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 like that, right? But if I want to do a really smooth ramp down, I want to control the speed. Maybe go like 255, 254, 253, 252, like that, like slowly ramp down, make it really smooth. Now in order to do that, I'm gonna use the while loop, which we learned about a couple of you know what, did I make a mistake again? It says compilation took too long. Interesting. All right, so it looks like maybe it did finish compiling. Let's see. I'm going to compile again. Oh, it's compiled. Okay. So I guess sometimes if you try to just straight up upload the code, it's called timeout. It took too long. It's trying to wait for the compile to finish. So it compiled, but it didn't actually do the upload. But the good thing is it's saved the compile file on the web. So then now you can just do upload again, and it should be fast. There we go. Okay, let's get to run into two of these things together, right? All right, we're uploading the code. Hopefully it should work. While this is doing, I'm gonna get my app going here. Okay, we're writing, and I'm waiting for the. I'm not gonna be able to see the Wi-Fi signal until this is done coding. So we're almost there, and we will be done now. All right, so I'm gonna disconnect, plug this in, Okay, I'm plugging in the power here. Another note on this: make sure you use good batteries. There's I have all sorts of batteries because we have different robot kits, and but make sure you use alkaline batteries and fresh ones just so that you get good performance out of this. The four batteries there are powering the Wi-Fi chip and also the DC drivers. So that's another thing to look out for. If your car's acting kind of crazy, check the batteries. Make sure they're fresh, and make sure they're good quality batteries. Okay. All right, so now it's uploaded. I'm going to then do my app here, set my Wi-Fi, still called my Barnabas spot, I think. Can you see that? Maybe. Okay. And then get my app going. I know it looks kind of weird, but okay, I think it's pound, right? Okay, I'm gonna press pound and let's see what happens. I'm gonna move the car here. All right, hopefully that doesn't go crazy. Let's see. Okay, so it did do what I wanted it to do. I'm try again. It's just okay. So it did go. See, the full speed was super fast. So it kind of like goes out of the picture. But it did work. So let's now write that while loop, and then we can then go from there. All right, so what am I going to do here? Oh, here we go. Move forward speed. So going back to that area where it says pound. Okay. I'm going to do this. Okay. Int counter. Do I have a counter already? Oh, I do have a counter here. Alright, let's see if this... You know what? I'm just going to try this. Alright. Alright. Now let's say while counter is less than... Let's say 250... No, wait, what am I doing? I'm going to count from 255 to 0, right? Because it's a ramp down. So while it's greater than 0, I'm going to move forward speed counter. Okay, now counter should start at 255, right? Yeah, not 0. All right. And then we want to put counter equals counter minus 1. So every time I do the speed and I put the counter in there, I want to make sure I decrement or subtract 1, so it keeps going 255, 254, 253 all the way down to 1 in this case, because once it subtracts, but once it becomes 0, it's going to jump out of the while loop. Okay. Oh, and then how long do we want to, like, I don't know, let's say 20 milliseconds at each. I don't know. I feel like, because it's, yeah, I feel like 10's good. I don't know. We'll see. I get rid of this stuff. And then we stop after the counter. Okay, so let's see what this does. It's going to do like a ramp down, hopefully. Okay. All right, let's see how long this thing takes to compile here, and let's see if it'll upload it as well. As this is going, maybe I could talk about what challenges you could think about. Let's say this works. Hopefully, it does work. Something that you could work on is do the same exact thing, but have it move backwards, right? So I made a move forward speed. Can you do a move backwards speed? So what you'd have to do is look in your code and find the part of the code that does backwards. Oh, same issue where it says compiling took too long. We'll just upload again, and then we should be good. Okay, so you can go forward and also backwards. And then also you could just make a longer routine, right? So when you press pound, let's say, in that area where we where we have the code that that executes when you press pound, you can have it go forward and then ramp down, go backwards and then ramp down. Okay, you can kind of play with that. And we are almost there. And then I think what we'll do in the next video is play with turning and stuff, right? Because then that's like, then you can do some navigation stuff. All right, let's first try this out, and then we can cap all this video with success, hopefully. Let's see. Okay, just setting up my app here. Okay. Okay, here it is. Okay, pound is gonna be the magic. Let's start it back here. Okay, you can still see it, right? All right. Let's see what it does. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, but you couldn't see it totally stop. Maybe what I'll do is try to hold the camera and kind of follow it. Okay, pressing pound. Right. Now. That's pretty cool. All right, so there we go. Oops, that's not good. All right, we experimented with the driver speed, and we made a ramp down of moving forward using the parameter, the move forward speed function with the parameter. So again, try making it reverse, same thing, and then have it go forward and backwards in the same kind of move routine. So play with that. Again, on the next video, I think we'll do turning, and we will keep on going from there. All right, we'll see you later.